Events Day. So if you're here and you can hear me, please let me know on the chat so I will know that my network and everything is intact. It's 1 o'clock my end, and I believe it's 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Thank you very much for coming to join us today. I have all my speakers already in the studio, and I'm excited, really, really excited. You see, today I dressed up in my pink clothes, right? That's for you to know the level of my excitement for this event. So please, if you're here and you can hear, kindly let me know in the chat, just so I know that my transmission is, like my network is clear and you can hear me and the voicing is good. Even though sometimes I know there is a lag time between the streaming and then when it's on LinkedIn. And we're also streaming live on YouTube, so you can join on YouTube. I think I'll put the link of the YouTube in the chat. Sometimes the YouTube network is better than the LinkedIn network for some people. So I'll put that in the chat so that if anybody is finding it hard to join from LinkedIn, you can equally just join on YouTube. Let me look for it to see where it is to join on YouTube. Okay, I found it, live event. So let me share this. So please, I'm still looking at the chat. I haven't seen any chat. I'm just making sure that I'm communicating before I keep going. But I'm going to put the YouTube on the chat of this event link just to be sure. Oh, okay. See, I see. It's funny. Join on YouTube. I see people chatting, but it has not come here. Live event. So let me share. I'm going to mute this. Oh yeah. My big brother is here. My big brother that I'm claiming for myself. Ramosele, welcome, sir. I think there is a lag time between when I see your chat and when it drops. So thank you very much, Florence. It's so lovely having you all here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being early, right? Thank you very, very much. Sometimes it gets lonely in the studio when you feel like you're talking to yourself. Thank you. There is just a lag time between when you hear me and when the chat drops. Ramosela is saying, Dr. Amaka, look well. Oh, we are here with, I'm here with so much joy. And I see I'm wearing my uniform. If I'm wearing my uniform, then you know it's something serious. Something serious is about to happen. That's the only time I wear my uniform. If Nanya, thank you very much. Yes, thank you for confirming that. Yes, it was just taking some time for me to see the chats y'all were dropping. Yes, thank you very much for coming in. Yeah, let's just give it a couple of seconds so we have more people. As you're joining in, just tell us your name, or maybe just tell us where you're joining from, since we can already see your name. So let us know where you are joining from. Are you joining from Nigeria, from England, from the UK, from the US? Just let us know. This is also like a networking session, right? It's a great opportunity for you to get to connect with people of like minds. If you're here and you're listening to the same thing, I always say it is because you already have something in common. That's why you're going to be here together. So if you have any, just let me know in the chat where you're joining from, and just for me to get to know where you're joining from and get to know you a little bit more. Yeah, I'm still looking at the chat, and I'm making sure that's okay. Dr. Emanuela Afia Yebo, she's joining. Thank you for joining. Yeah, thank you for joining. Oh, Ermosala is greeting somebody. Oh, okay. I was thinking she was telling me where she's coming from. Oh, thank you. Thank you for greeting all of them. You see now, it's not easy to have a big brother that will just be rooting for you and be doing things behind the scene. Thank you so much for welcoming them. I appreciate that. Yes. Please let me know where you are joining from. I'm just giving a minute or two just so that more people can join us for us to start the conversation. Okay. Munira says she's joining from France. Do you know Augusta? She's the first lady of France. So I hope you're connected to Augusta. Augusta is someone you need in your connection. If you're in France, it will make your life very, very easy. Thank you for joining. Then we have Ifunanya. She's joining from Onitsha, Anambra. That's where I'm from. Do you know that? That's my state. It's good to know that. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining from Anambra. That's my state. It's been a while I've been there. I've missed going back home. Florence is joining us from Sweden. Thank you so much for joining. That's beautiful. Thank you. And yeah, this is the Augusta I was shouting out. Make sure you are connected with her, especially you, that Munira from France. Make sure Augusta is in your network. She's going to be a very big Very, very big resource for you. And then we are welcoming my big brother, like I said. I don't know the pronunciation of the first one, so I'll just say England, so I will not disgrace my village people. He's in England. Okay. Then we have Christiana. She's joining from Germany. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Oh yeah. Oh, you say you're. Oh, of course. Augusta is an amazing person. There's no gainsaying that. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you already have her in your network. Okay, that's good. Then we have Zion. Oh, Zion, it's good to have you here. Where are you joining from? Even though I know, still tell us. Yeah, and then Abraham is joining from Ibadan, Nigeria. Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Eremosela is welcoming Zion as a chief. He's indeed a chief. Yeah. So Zion is joining us from Nigeria. Thank you all so much for joining us. I just wanted to give a minute or two to, welcome everybody. We do not take it for granted. Oh, you're joining from Rwanda. Wow, I didn't know that. That's where you are. Nice. Oh, really nice. I didn't know that. Okay. That's good to know. Good to know that you are in Rwanda. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to get started. You know how it is for us. We like to stay on time. And today we have 6 amazing, oh God, I cannot wait to start bringing them up. 6 beautiful ladies that will come and tell us just a little bit about their life's journey, right? Because if we begin to go into details of everybody's story, then we'll not leave. But the whole team, the whole purpose of this event was just to bring together some group of ladies, and we are still all figuring it out. It's not like any of us have necessarily arrived, but we are on that journey, and all of us in one shape or form have overcome so much and have just refused to give up. We've just kept going, and I was very intentional in making the selection of the ladies that we are going to come up today to talk on the theme of the International Women's Day, which is accelerate action, right? We're trying to get you have to reach the point where you stop just accumulating knowledge to actually putting that knowledge into practice to make a difference. So before I go all preachy on you, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Amaka. You can see that from the screen already. And I recently completed my PhD, right? Don't worry. After 6 months, I'll stop saying I recently completed my PhD. But for now, I completed my PhD 2 months ago, so it's still pretty much new. And I'm here in the United States, Mississippi to be precise. I went to Texas A&M University to get my PhD and then moved to Mississippi for a job. And I'm the founder and lead coach of Scholar Up Mentoring Academy, as you can see from my banner, in case you don't know what that's about. So before we go too further, I have like a 1-minute video that will just give you a brief overview of what we do at Scholar Up, so we don't take too much of a time, and then we can jump right into the conversation. My Bironke, I see you. She says she's streaming from Indiana. Thank you so much for joining. That's so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good having you here. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my video quickly, and then we can just get started with our conversation. No time to check time. No
Success begins with the right guidance and opportunities. And at Scholar Up Mentoring Academy, we are here to help you unlock your full potential. And at Scholar Up Mentoring Academy, we are here to help you unlock your full potential.
Is this actually working? Oops, sorry. Sorry for the break in transmission. Let's
Success begins with the right guidance and opportunities. And at Scholar Up Mentoring Academy, we are here to help you unlock your full potential. Whether you're preparing for graduate school applications or building a standout professional presence on LinkedIn, we provide the tools and support you need to thrive. Our programs are designed to help you craft a compelling personal brand, position yourself for global opportunities, and achieve your dreams. Led by Dr. Amaka Ifaduba, a dedicated mentor and coach, Scholar Up empowers you with personalized mentoring, actionable resources, and proven strategies to take bold steps toward a brighter future. Scholar Up Mentoring Academy is more than a program. It's a community dedicated to helping you succeed. Take the first step today and discover how we can guide you on your journey to greatness. Follow our page for updates and access all our resources at linktree.com/scholarupacademy. Your success story starts here.
Okay, we are back. Thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you again. Yeah, I see all the new people joining. Oh, Annie is here. I see Mosala is welcoming Annie. Thank you for coming, Annie. Tolu is joining us from Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us. Ikenna, oh, Ikenna, my mentee. It's been a while. I've not seen you in a bit. He's joining us from Nigeria. And then thank you so much, everyone. So I'm going to be checking the chat intermittently just so we are having a three-way conversation, right? But I want us to, like I said, be very good with the time. We have lots of value that is packed in this event. So I don't even want to steal the show. I don't want to spend too much time talking because we have speakers who would come and share just their journey, really, just to re-emphasize the role of women in today's society. Having said that, kindly help us share the event, right? Anytime I see Zion, I remember that. Help us to share the event. Please help us to share the event so that other people can join in. Just repost, right? If at the end of the event, if you want to take it out of your page, you can still do that. But at least for this moment, for this 1 hour, 30 minutes that we are going to be here, kindly help us share the event. Can you still hear me? Yeah, if you can still hear me, let me know. Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm also looking at my phone just to be sure. All right, thank you very much. Please help us share the events. That will be, I'm truly going to appreciate that. Thank you for keeping the chat busy. Having said that, I'm going to bring in the first person, which is somebody you all already know, which is like my right-hand woman, right? My right-hand woman, you know, anywhere you see me, Dr. Augusta she's not very far behind. If you see me and you don't see Dr. Augusta, maybe it's my counterfeit that you are seeing. Maybe it's not the real me. So, Dr. Augusta, you're welcome on the stage. Thank you very much for being a part of this event. She's actually co-hosting with me, right? Dr. Augusta is always co-hosting with me, but today she's going to also be speaking and share a little bit of tips with us about all her France drama, right? She will tell us all about it. Dr. Augusta, you're welcome. Please go ahead and introduce yourself while I bring in the next person, and I'm just going to go like that. Yes.
Hi, Amaka. Hello, everybody. So, should I introduce myself and just talk, or I should just introduce myself and then I'll come back?
Yeah, just introduce yourself. You know, just in a minute, just introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello, everybody. You know who this is. This is Dr. Augusta Imamon, the medical doctor who ran away from the clinic and is now prescribing international education opportunities. So that's what I do. When you hear France, you hear Augusta. I'm the person who has helped so many people. I mean, through my job, not alone, but I've helped a lot of people come to France, and it's something I derive a lot of joy doing. So if you're ever thinking about studying in France, I'm your go-to person. And I love to volunteer. I love to give back. I'm passionate about education, and that's why, you know, Amaka and I are soul sisters, and we're working together in Scholar Up Mentoring Academy. I'm the senior executive administrator, and I work with her to ensure that the day-to-day activities of the academy go smoothly, like this event you're about to witness today. So I'm going to be right back to talk more about my story. And Amaka, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Augusta. I truly appreciate that. And you know, you're truly very special to me. You are God's blessing in my life. Dr. Ellen, you are here. It's a pleasure to have you. It's lovely seeing you with your red dress. You're looking so radiant. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you for creating the time. I know you're very busy. Thank you for being here. Just go ahead and introduce yourself in like a minute or two while I bring in the next person.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Amaka, for this beautiful invite. You happen to be the first person to put me on screen. I'm really excited to be here. As she said, My name is Ellen Sherry's Umo. I really prefer to be called Sherry's if you don't mind. If you don't remember, it's fine. You can always call me Ellen. I will answer. So just as she said, I'm a medical doctor, working as an emergency clinician in the United Kingdom. I'm also a wife and a mother of 4 lovely children. Yeah. And together with Sumaya, it will interest people to know that we are co-founders of a group of mentoring community called International Women Nexus. It has been very quiet in the background, not so many people know, but there we try to mentor women, try to see how we can support group of women to reach their full potentials. And I believe that's the whole reason why we're here today, to be able to talk to a group of women and those men who care to listen and who have wives and sisters that they are going to, pass on our messages to them, so that together we are all able to change the world. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, you say you prefer to be called Sherry's, and I've always called you Ellen. I'll remember that, Dr. Sherry's. It sounds Russian. It sounds sweet. I think I actually even prefer that to Ellen, right? So thank you for telling us that. It's good to. If you never say it, then we'll never know, because Ellen is like the first name even on your bio, right? So
Yeah.
you just assume that that's like the
Yeah.
first name. Okay, so we'll say Dr. Sherry's. That's sweet. I'll remember that. Sure enough. Zubeda,
Okay.
welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We are excited to have you here. Please go ahead and introduce yourself in a minute or two, while I bring in the next 2 people. Okay, I think Verena will be joining us a bit later, but I'm going to bring in the last person who is here, who is Tolu, and then we can go. All right, Zubeda, please take it away.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. Today we have the opportunity to celebrate women, our achievements, how far we've come, how much we are going forward, and I'm truly excited. Thank you so much, Dr. Amaka, for putting together this whole event. And thank you to the team at Scholar Up Mentoring Academy for having us here. This is really, really a beautiful event. And thank you to all the panelists. This is amazing. My name is Zubeda Namgenyi, and I am from Uganda. I'm a lawyer, a mediator, an arbitrator. Okay, big words, small impact. Yes, so I am an advocate for alternative dispute resolution. And currently, I'm working as the CEO of the Muslim Arbitration and Mediation Center in Uganda. And I would like to say to everyone, I did 3 cohorts of the Elevate Your Professional Presence with Amaka. And what you see on video today wasn't really it. I remember during the first cohort, Dr. Amaka, where we were required to record a 1-minute video, I slid into Dr. Amaka's WhatsApp and said, oh my God, I cannot do this. Can I pass on this one? And she said, no. And I remember she vividly said, it's easier to act yourself into motivation than to motivate yourself into acting. And I just did it. First of all, watching myself on video was such a such a terrible experience, but I did it anyway. And look at me today. Here we are. So thank you so much. Guys, come to Scholar Up Mentoring Academy. You won't regret it. Thank you very much.
Okay, with people like you who needs marketers, right? With hype women like you, thank you so much, Zubeda. That's lovely. I always use you for an example all the time, right? So all the time, even in the cohorts where you are not, I would say sometimes you never know what you can do until you force yourself to do it. You never know. You can decide to limit yourself and say, "Oh, I cannot. This is not for me," and that becomes your story. Or you can decide to say, "Okay, I'm going to try," and from trying, you just see yourself doing things that you didn't even think was possible. So thank you for sharing that. That's a very beautiful intro. So the last pretty woman on the stage with me, Tolu Lope, the real estate mogul. Please tell us a little bit about yourself. Just introduce yourself briefly, and then we can start the conversation.
Good evening, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's so amazing to be here. Wow. I can't actually believe that we're doing this, but yeah, we are doing it actually. Thank you so much. Happy International Women's Day to everybody, beautiful women on the panel, and everyone that is watching us. Thank you for being here and giving us your time. Wow, Scholar Up has done me so much good too. Zubeda, is not only you, so let me leave that for later. My name is Tolulope Olawiyi, your queen of estates, right? Your queen of estates. I'm a spotlighter. Thanks to Scholar Up. I think it was in the first cohort that somebody gave me that name, Ekemini. God bless you, Jai. So, yeah, I am your favorite real estate lady, and I'm the lead consultant for the Duke Realty. It's a brainchild of mine, and one of our passions is to actually help investors and people that are doing it first time or they are repeated customers to avoid pitfalls when investing in the industry. I also have a passion for women and girls because I'm an only girl and my mom is a widow, so I'll be talking about that later. So this day is actually very important to me, right? And I'm happy that I'm here to share my story with these amazing women. So let's do this, right? I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you, Dr. Amaka.
Yeah, let's do it. The Queen of Estate herself, I greet you. Dr. Sumeya, you are welcome on the stage. You have the time to introduce yourself, then we can get started proper.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for having me. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. My name is Dr. Sumaya Al Mansour. I'm Nigerian, and I wear a lot of hats. But then for this, I would keep it simple. I'm a medical doctor. That's one. I'm a mother too, mother to three lovely kids. I'm also a behavioral and health communication strategist. I'm a graduate student. I'm a teacher. I'm a health consultant in a health consulting firm called Impactor Solutions. And then for this, I think I'll leave it here. I'm really, really honored to be here with, I have my sister on stage and all my other friends. So it's going to be exciting. I'm really, really happy to be here. Thank you for having us, Dr. Amaka.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think what I'm going to do is for us to start the conversation with Dr. Augusta. So it's just for us to have like a round table conversation, right? This is like a tea party where we have people who are just listening in as our audience. I guess just what I wanted to know from you in this event for you to share, if you have a personal experience when you've had to just challenge the bias that has been put on your gender as a woman. That is something I guess every woman who has struggled to get ahead at one point had to push through to say, I can. So if you could share a personal experience of when you had to break those personal biases or just not give up and just keep going. Just keep going, even when everybody expects that this should be enough to break her. You just look at it and say, no, not today. I'm just going to keep going. Dr. Augusta, and that's a question for everybody. Like I said, this is a roundtable conversation, so we'll just go in the order we are. So Dr. Augusta, you can take a few minutes, then Dr. Ellen, and then we can check in with our people. If they have any question in the chat, we'll address the question and we'll just have our conversation like that. So I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, wow, that feels like on the spot question. Well, I'll just say that honestly, I've been quite fortunate, to be honest. I've been very fortunate to not have had people who don't believe in me. Like, I've never had a situation, I don't know if I've had, but maybe I just brush it off. But I don't really reflect on situations where people, don't, or, look at me a certain way because I'm a woman. I think maybe perhaps is the way I was brought up. So even if people try to pull me down, I'm not even going to notice them or listen to them. So, well, I would say, I think the time when I was in medical school and I failed my MD, I remember that time vividly. And the story is not about the failure, but when I passed, and somebody came to me and said, so you're actually intelligent. You did not fail because you don't have sense. I I mean, I can't forget that day. Like, it was so funny. I'm like, unsolicited conversation. The person just came to me. I was like, we're just thinking that we're not capable of passing, or you failed because I know I failed because I wasn't coordinated or focused, but it wasn't because of my gender or because of my personality, right? And I know that, as you said, can do. Once you fail, you can try again because you can actually do it. It doesn't matter if you're a male or female. If you say you're going to do it, you can do it and you will do it. So I will just leave it at that. But I don't really think like my gender has really been a determining factor in things I can do or cannot do.
Okay, that's a beautiful one. But thank you for sharing that experience. I'm going to piggyback on that. But before we move forward, I'm just going to pass it to Dr. Ellen. Just share a personal experience. And really, just as Augusta has said, sometimes it may not necessarily be linked to gender. It could just be a situation where people just put you down for whatever reason they feel like they can, right? And how you handle that situation, more or less. That's really the lesson. We're trying to get to the lesson of how you've just been able to navigate your life, and then we'll come back and then we'll wrap it up. Yes, Dr. Ellen.
Yeah, so I on the other hand, unfortunately, have faced very bad comments or very demeaning words or demeaning scenario just because of my gender. So I remember vividly when I was after my anatomy. So I actually read human anatomy before I went back to read medicine. And when I got the admission to read to read medicine then while I was still in school, I had this group of people that came to my house. They happened to be relatives anyway. And they wanted to speak on my behalf. They wanted to take decision on my behalf. And what was that decision? My parents shouldn't allow me go back to medical school because I am a lady. They think I should get married. Oh, if she goes back to school, by the time she'll be finishing, she will be too old. No man will come, no man will come for her, and very, very demeaning words. And I felt it's because I'm a lady, because if it were to be a man, I think it will all come with praises. I'm just really thankful that I had my parents there who were in full support of what I was doing. Otherwise, there wouldn't be Dr. Ellen today or Dr. Sherry's today. It would have just been a different person. So, I mean, it is what it is. They are entitled to their own opinion, but the support system at home worked in my favor, and I'm happy to present myself, to them as a doctor today with a husband and children as well. So we are unstoppable.
Yes, we are. Thank you. That's such a wonderful story, and it's very true what you say. How people always feel like they have an opinion in your life. That's something that people just feel like I should be the one dictating how you should go about your life. You can do this, or you can't do this, or you should be doing this. And truly, that's something that has limited. A lot of women would have stories to tell, if not directed to gender, it could just be directed to something else. So thank you for sharing that experience. Zubeida, can you share your own experience in line with our conversation?
Yes. Now, mine is a thing that I live up to now, because my organization is an organization that is meant to bring justice closer to the Muslim community. And funny enough, the Muslim community has been pushing for the establishment of Qadhi courts. And in Uganda, of course, our constitution, which was passed in 1995, provides for the establishment of these courts. These are basically tailor-made courts that handle those peculiarities that come with the Islamic way of life. However, whereas this thing right now there is a court case where they are trying to force the hand of government to establish these Qadhi courts. Now, this institution of ours provides a solution by providing a private solution. And when we finally came up with it, we were excited to share with the religious leaders who have been really pushing for all this time. And many of them were challenged because the vision bearer was a woman. It would be much easier. Like no one was challenging the merit because there is a court case trying to pursue this thing. And we have now an alternative where you can actually have tailor-made justice that is voluntary and that is, you don't have to force government. Because I mean, with government, you can only do so much. But when there's a woman doing this, it's like, it kind of like makes the men like, you kind of like face resistance. But fortunately, when I actually looked outside the borders of Uganda, no one saw gender. They just saw the idea, they saw the impact, and actually most of our collaborators right now are from the international space and they are really pushing. So we are doing great. Whatever we are doing is moving forward only because we dared to look outside the limitations of those that thought we could not do it.
Wow, that's a powerful story. Sometimes you need to look outside, right? Maybe the enemy sometimes is from within. That's what it said, that sometimes the enemy is from within, and for you to get the solution, you need to look outwardly. Thank you for sharing that powerful story. I'm going to pass it on to you, Tolu, for you to also like have an input, and then we can go forward.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just hope my network is not going to be lagging because I'm seeing connection lost. I hope everyone can hear me. Right. So my own experience is straight from home, right? So the bias I've had concerning my gender has been linked to both my career and, in fact, my career majorly, because I switched careers 8 years ago. And when I did that, I moved into the real estate industry. I was expecting, because there's money. So I was expecting thumbs up, this girl you sabi, how more you like money. In fact, straight from my home, my widowed mother was the first to say, no, you're going nowhere. I cannot have them kill my child. I've mentioned it on my LinkedIn severally. Like, she was just all that. And I said, no, I am going to do this. I'm a big girl now. I'm going to push. I know what I want to do. I didn't know posterity was waiting for me. So fast forward to my first deal. I was with a male counterpart on that deal. I was not really experienced, and I just figured that, we should just go for the inspection, the client meetups to seal the deal and everything. Then we were on the site. I don't know what to say, but ladies, you can't imagine what the prospective client said to me. When he saw me, he asked me and said, hello, young lady, are you the PA to the developer? I said, no. I said, I'm not a PA, I'm a realtor. He said, you're a realtor, a woman. What are you doing on property sites? You want to sell house to me? I was shaking. I was literally cold. My hands were like, I lost my voice for a moment. But then I just called myself back and said, Tolu, remember where you're coming from. If you fail at this, then you have not proved your mom wrong. In fact, not even about my mom, but about myself, because I needed, some sort of validation to really know that this challenge that I am taking upon myself is something that I needed to do. So I just kept quiet. I was ruminating and thinking, how do I push and show this man that I can actually do this? So when I got home, I called my male counterpart and said, you were there and you saw that man was speaking to me. He said, don't forget about him. I said, I know you guys cannot finish this deal without me. The guy just laughed. He said, are you the owner of the house? Are you the one selling? But fortunately for me, because I had that energy, I was called upon to come and pitch that same establishment or development to another set of clients. And unfortunately for the man, he was on the seats of that board. So imagine how nature brought the two of us back together. And I was able to prove to him that, see, it is beyond the gender. I mean, women, we are headliners. We are born to win. We make big impact, right? Whether you like it or not. And fortunately for me, the deal fell through. That was my first deal ever 8 years ago. Inexperienced, but what did I do? I majorly had that dream, and I knew that my dreams were valid. So when I called my mom and said, Mama, I made it. She was like, you made what? What is it? I said, well, I just got this, and this. I just sealed this deal. She was like, yay! Are you serious? Wow. This is, she was so happy. That is for a conformist. My mom is a conformist. You have to conform, you have to do things according to society standards. So, and here I am today, 8 years down the line, 7, 8 years down the line, we're developing properties. I'm dealing with high net worth individuals. What if I had allowed that voice to shout me down? What if I had felt there's no need? Let me just go back to where I'm coming from. In fact, nobody will hear my voice today. So, everyone, your dreams are valid. That's my own experience, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful, beautiful experience. Thank you so much, Tolu. That's wonderful. It's about there's a lot of, sometimes I mentioned that sometimes the people who would try to, and sometimes they don't even do it out of bad intent. That's even the truth. You come to realize that sometimes the people that try to put you down, it's not out of hatred, it's out of, in their mind, trying to save you. They are trying to protect you from societal pressure or ridicule. So they are trying to say, oh, just take it easy. Don't do too much. You're going to set yourself up for failure. Thank you so much for showing up. I see a lot of people in the chat. I need to welcome them again, just so they know that we are not, they are part of our conversation, right? We are not just having our tea party and not and not giving them any notice. Romosele, I see you. Thank you. You said African culture is strong on putting women to the ground. We need to rewrite this notion. Absolutely, I agree with you. And Esther reiterated and said, yeah, sometimes the enemy is from within. That is true. And Maureen is agreeing with you. She said, yes, we can. We totally can, and we should, and we're doing it, right? And then Eremosele is again saying, African mom, if you fail, the cane will start from home. You can't fail. Okay, you may have to rewrite that because I'm not sure I follow the conversation. But hopefully I understand. Oh, Professor Roxana, thank you for being here. Happy International Women's Day to you too. Thank you so much. That is so good. And then there's a long chat. Oh my God, this is super, super long. Say, greetings, family. I'm happy for the inspirational testimonies with professionals. Most women in urban areas have been denied to attend schools with the mentality that women education is meaningless. I'll be very grateful there is more. Oh, okay, that's good. Well, it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge, and that's why we have to keep having this conversation. MJ says our dreams are valid. Oh no, she says her dreams are valid. Okay, that's good. Yes, MJ, your dreams are valid. Thank you very much. And then we have Linda who is joining. Oh, I'm trying to see Linda. She says, hello everyone. Hello Linda, we see you. Thank you for joining us. And Maureen says women's rights should be respected. Thank you everyone. Thank you for lending your voices. We appreciate it. I'm always looking to make sure that we are all having a conversation between ourselves. I have to switch my device because this laptop is about to die. I have like 18% more. I don't want us to be interrupted. But luckily, I have my old one. I didn't come back with my charger from the office, but that's good. Would flow. I've set up my other laptop as a backup. So if you see me turning off my camera, it's because I'm trying to switch my device so we don't have any interruptions. Thank you very much. So I'm going to pass it to you now, Dr. Sumeya, for you to have the last word, and then I'm going to come back again. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so thank you so much for the and a lovely testimonies. I think I have learned just being here. So when I think of my journey, I actually look at it that my biases are actually from deep-seated societal biases. And when I think of it that way, it brings back memories that how those biases have held back, not me necessarily, but other women that look like me from being successful and their opportunities. So people that look like me, what does that mean? So growing up in northern Nigeria as a Muslim woman, I think if you're from Nigeria, a lot of you would have something in your heads you can all relate. There's that bias that, because there's this deep-rooted patriarchal traditional system that shackles women, basically. Even though personally I'm from a family that, and which I'm very privileged. I grew up with very educated parents. My mom is a doctor, and I have a younger sister who is also a doctor. So I didn't experience from my home. I got wings to fly from my home. I have an amazing father that is an advocate of women's education and has done everything um, to make it possible that we got the best education. Someone, I think Verena, I'm kind of echoing. Yeah. So, but then my journey has not been perfect. It has not been all sunshine and roses. I've had hurricanes too. But the most important, I think, challenge that I have faced is after graduating medical school, I just thought that my career path was going to be smooth. It's just after medical school, I become that consultant, I have a family, and I just live happily ever after. But then I got the shock of my life, which it's good. It has been a learning curve. But I have a hat I wear that is not conventional. I don't talk about, but I'm very proud of. So I'm also a military wife that most people do not know. Yes. So being a military wife on its own it has its own barriers on its own. So balancing. So I have lived across countries. I have lived across states with my kids, and sometimes I experience being alone with my kids, being the father, the mother. So it can be hard. But then if you're in a society where whatever you're going to be, the first thing is you have to be a homekeeper. That is above everything else. And then I like to see myself, I'm very ambitious. I don't have any reason not to be, because I have role models that have showed me that it's possible. So no, it's not in my dictionary. I can be anything. And I have a father that believes that I can fly. And if I tell my father I can fly, he will tell me take the wing. So I got that, and it gave me a lot of self-awareness. So I don't conform. I have always not conformed to societal biases and all that. So being a military wife, a mother, a doctor, it changed the trajectory of like my career path. I started a residency program, which I left in the middle of it. But then it was good because I stopped liking clinical practice and I wanted more. I don't have any regrets. I wanted more. But then people just kept wondering. People have asked me to my face, what do you want? Is it not okay that you're married, you have kids, you're earning? I'm like, I'm not okay. I can be anything I want to be.
Yeah.
So it made me, from clinical practice, I stopped and I transitioned to public health. So I was working in an NGO space. I was okay. I was still doing, but then I still wanted more. And I think that was the most challenging part, because apart from, even if you have the best, what's the word? You have the best support. Yes, your first support, your parents, your spouse, because I have an amazing spouse. I'm very, very grateful for that. And he has given me the wings to fly as high as I can. So my journey is always not complete without mentioning him. But then I had to, people would talk, people would actually ask me, why would you be a military wife? You are supposed to take care of your kids as your husband travels. That's the ideal to them. But then I started to break the camel's back by deciding to leave the country and go to start a doctoral program, which was difficult. But if you can only imagine. So it's because I just believe if my husband can travel the world and live in 10 countries in a year, so why can't I? And if it works for us. So I believe there's nothing we cannot achieve. And when I look at breaking barriers, it's just about, and all through my transitions across all disciplines, from clinical practice to public health to all I'm doing now, I'm just embracing my multiplicity. That's how I look at it. I don't fit into any single box. Yes. So, and there are moments where definitely, like, I wanted to pause my own dreams, moments where I have felt stretched too thin. But then I look at when I look back, I have daughters. I want my daughters to be proud of me as I am proud of my mother. So I just know that I can't fit in. So before I keep going on and on, I think women we need to be self-aware. We need to be shoulders to each other and also show people that you can be anything. Like basically you can just be anything you put your mind to be. So thank you.
Thank you, doctor. That is like TEDx talk, right? We can be anything, really. That is just the truth. And that is the whole point of this event, sharing real stories. It's not just coming to talk about things in abstract, just talking about abstract, but it's somebody telling you, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm an educator, I'm this. Somehow I'm wearing all of those hats and I'm doing all of these things and I'm still standing on my feet. And I still show up proudly for myself. Then that question will be like, what excuse would you have for yourself, right? People are welcoming the health evangelist. Thank you so much, Dr. Sumeya. That was really, really good. That was so good. Yeah, I think MJ is re-echoing what she said. So we can be anything we want to be. So welcome, Verena. We've been waiting for you. Everybody has been asking about Verena, like she was missing. She was not missing. She was. It's still that thing of being a woman, you know. She will come and tell us. It's still all of those things of having to do so many things at the same time and still showing up and being present. So thank you very much, Verena. I know you've been very busy. I know you've had, it's a lot of dedication for you to be here. Now that you are here, you had to sacrifice some things, and I don't take that for granted. I really appreciate you accepting our invitation, showing up here. So we had an introduction before, so I'll give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. And the question that everybody was kind of answering was just sharing a little bit of your journey, times when you've had to challenge the status quo. You've had to say, no, I'm going to do it my own way. I'm not going to conform, if I'm going to borrow Dr. Sumeya's word, when you've just had to keep pushing. I know you with 20 years of nursing experience, there's a lot of experience there. So just pick a story that you want to share with us when you feel like, you've just decided to not accept the role that society has defined for you, but you have to kind of break the barriers and keep going. So please take it away. You have to unmute yourself. I think I can unmute you anyway. Yeah. Verena, you can go ahead. Okay, I can unmute you. Cool. Yep.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Thank you very much, Dr. Amaka. Thank you, my ladies, and thank you everybody for being here present today to support us. So my name is Verena. I'm a nurse. I am a mom. I'm a wife, and I live in Germany at the moment. So I'm just going to be sharing. I know there are many things to talk about, but I'm just going to be sharing something that's very important and very touchy to my heart. So I actually started my career as a nurse back in 2004. When I completed my certification, I decided to work. So while I was working, I realized that I could do more, just like Dr. Sumeya said. I realized I could do more. So I decided to go back to have my HND. When I went to have my HND, I completed, I had a bachelor's degree, I decided to start working. Then I moved to the US. I had to start from scratch again. So 6 years of nursing on hold. I had to start from scratch. I'm preparing for my NCLEX and preparing to write my exam. So I couldn't really work. I just had to prepare for my exam. So when I had my exam, I passed as a nurse. Someone came to marry me. So I had to move and join him wherever he was. So when I came to Europe, I had to start from scratch again. Learning the German language. Before you could say Jack, I got pregnant. I stayed at home, caring for the baby. Once the baby was a little like 2 years old, I decided that, okay, I want to go back to work. Then I got pregnant again. I said, I made a post last time. I said, I don't know what was in the water I was drinking at home. I got pregnant again. After another 6 months, I got pregnant again. Those are about 6-7 years of my life on hold. While I was pregnant with my second baby, I decided to do a master's. I'm like, okay, I can do more. I can not only end with a bachelor's degree, let me do more. But I had a lot of backlash, like, oh no, you're pregnant, you need to rest, you need to take care of yourself. I asked myself, it's been 10 years, I've always wanted to do a master's degree. I can do it. It was really difficult for me with little support. I only have my husband here. I don't have a nanny. The luxury of a nanny, you cannot have it in Germany. So I had to go an extra mile with a 3-year-old, being pregnant, going in for a master's degree. By the time the first year was over, I had the baby. I had another pregnancy. So in the second year of my master's, I was having a second baby. So I had three babies while completing a master's degree. That was the highest point of any career or breakthrough for me, But I went through it because I had the support as a woman. I had the support from my spouse. I had the mental support from my family and a few friends who could tell me you can do it. Just like Dr. Sumia said, I'm sure every other person must have said that. You can do it. Many a times in Germany, people will tell you, oh, you don't need to work. The government is giving you maybe some little social support for you to stay at home and care for the kids. No, that's not how I was raised. I want to have more. I want to be able to afford vacation in good places and not just be comfortable with the little that they will give you to say, okay, just stay at home, just do this one and just do that one. But one of the things I want to say is some of the difficulties we face as women, raising children is not an easy task. I know of 2 women who have slept in Germany and never woke up because of the fact that they had no one to support them. One of them had two special needs kids, and her husband abandoned her at home. She was caring for these kids back to back and nobody to care for her. She slept and never woke up just because she never had anyone to support her. So what I want to say is we women, we can do more with people who can support us. We can do more with people who can support us. For so many years, we have heard of stories of how women have been sidelined, how women have been treated unfairly. These things we are not just talking because we want to have rights or any other thing. We are saying these things because we know that we can be more, we can do more. And some of these funny norms that they have put in, they don't only keep us back in our career, they also affect our health. They affect women's health. For you to stay up in the night as a mom, caring for 3 babies, right? Caring for 3 babies. You spend the night with a baby, a toddler. You're feeding her. You're waking up to go to work. You are trying to complete studies. You're trying to do just so many things. If you do not have support, you will break down. I kid you not. You will break down. So one thing about me is I'm very resilient. Going through all the different structures, going through the US, starting from scratch, facing all sorts of things there, moving to Germany, living in a small village, facing all sorts. I decided I'm going to learn the German language at 31. I speak French, I speak English, I speak Pidgin English, I speak my vernacular. I am going to add another language to it at 31. I won't sit at home like other women and say, I'm going to receive support from the government. No, I want to be more. And because of that, I have a lot of respect from work, from my other colleagues who look at me and say, oh, I know of many Africans who don't work. They stay at home. Why? Because there's no one to ginger them to say you can be more. Or some of them are not comfortable to get out of their shell, to learn a new skill and start doing something. I could have said, no, I will stay at home. My husband works. He can afford for both of us. But no, I want to be a voice that is heard. In one of my posts I made on LinkedIn, I said, before I got married, I was a size 8 or a size 10. Immediately, I started having babies. I started developing a blood pressure. I started adding weight. I started having problems with breathing. And then I said to myself, but look at men, they can go to the gym. I can't go to the gym. I cannot abandon my kids and go to the gym. And Dr. Sumia is here and Dr. Ellen, they can bear witness with me that many women postpartum develop all sorts of problems, non-communicable diseases like high blood pressure and mental stress, just because they stay at home caring for a kid. But if women can have support from the government who put policies that can encourage women to thrive, we can be more. If we have support from our spouses, you come back from work, like now I'm coming back from work, my husband has put the kids to bed. Had it been I was coming back to work, to go and start putting them to bed, to start making dinner and also I can sleep and not wake up anymore. So what I want to say today is, we women, we need support from our spouses. That's the only way that we can thrive. Forget it that women's rights are human rights. We cannot continue to debate over it. It should be given to us. It's something we should live with. You know, I will not be here to talk about, oh, women are not allowed to eat desserts, or women are not allowed to eat eggs. We have gone past that stage. I'm happy for this generation that they have not been able to see some of the discriminations we faced in our time. But believe you me, those limitations have not ended in that time. In this generation, we face them. I live in a community where women are not allowed to use contraceptives. I have nothing against people's religion. I have nothing against people's culture. But you have one woman having 17 babies. Dr. Sumia and Dr. Ellen will bear with me. At a certain age, women start begin to deteriorate. Women may lose their lives if they start having multiple pregnancies. And these men don't think it's in Africa. They will have another second wife to care for the 17 babies. So if we women do not stand to some of these cultures and say, hey, that's okay, I cannot do that. I need to go to school. I need to work. I need to have control over my body. I need to have control over my education. We need to, as women, to stand up for these things and say, we don't want them anymore. We should take part in advocacy programs that concern us. We should not just sit at the back every day and say, we are waiting for some people to decide for us. We have to decide. We are the ones who know where it pains us. And other women need to support other women. For example, if I've gone through female genital mutilation, I should not be able to see another woman go through that trauma again, under the pretext of that's our culture, that's how our foreparents or our grandparents used to do it. No, when I've gone through something that is traumatic, I should stop it for another woman. That is the way women can move forward. We cannot move forward if we continue to hold on to some very funny cultures and some of those things that really keep women down. So we women should stand up and talk for ourselves. Our voices can be heard. I wrote a letter to the WHO. I wrote a letter to President Obama. I got a reply. I never knew I could do it, but I did it anyways. Standing for the rights of women. Women need to be helped. Women need to be helped. I propose that women should have nurseries at the gym to give them equal opportunities to work out like men. I can leave my baby at the gym and work out. I can leave my baby at the gym and work out for an hour. But if I'm home from morning to 6 o'clock, if my husband comes back, I cannot go to the gym anymore. And what happens? Mental stress, you start getting fed up in a community where you do not have a nanny, you do not have anybody. Imagine you morning to morning, 6 years caring for a baby. Why do you think the rate of suicide is up? So we need that support. Women need that support. So I thank you once more, Dr. Amaka. I know I must have spoken a lot because I have many more things to do. In case you come and ask me a question, I've already answered it. So thank you so much for the opportunity that you've given me. And I'm going to summarize it again that for me, it's my resilience. The ability to say, I want to learn a new language. The ability to say, I can be more in any society. Whether it's Chinese, bring it today, I will learn it if I need it. You know, so thank you very much for having me once more. And let me mute my mic now.
Not an evangelist for nothing, right? Sure, you can see why. When the evangelist is in the building, evangelism starts happening, right? Not you were saying so much, and I could literally hear the passion and the pain in your voice. And it is true what you were saying. It is true what you were sharing, and that is why conversations like the one we are having, like this tea party that we just sit down and we discuss these issues, is very important. It's very important for us to advocate. It's no longer enough for you to pretend. If it doesn't touch me, then let me pretend. If I'm not affected, then if 10 other women are affected, then it's not my business. It's no longer enough. Like you said, it's we've gone past the era of the women not being able to eat gizzard. We've left that behind. There are so many much more. And thank you so much for your insights and for your vulnerability, for sharing your story. And I know that I've just been looking at the chat, you know, all the, you know, people telling you it's not really an easy task. I see my Bironke, she's been writing a lot in the chat, you know. It's not an easy task. Raising children in developed nations is not for the faint-hearted, and that is very true. It's very, very true. It's unlike in Africa, where they will tell you the village will help you raise the child. You come to a place like the UK or the US and you are your own village. Literally, you're your own. It's hard for you to find that kind of support, except if you are an intentional person, except you're very intentional about figuring out ways around it. So thank you so much. And then they are debating about Verena's place, right? Some people are saying she's Nigerian, other people are saying she's Cameroon. But we Nigerians have adopted her because she's more Nigerian than us Nigerians. It's just very recent that I actually knew Verena was not a Nigerian, because your own level of Nigerianness is even more than us that are Nigerians. Thank you so much for sharing. That's a very powerful story. It's really, really very powerful that women can go through the things we go through, and then we just keep on. Like you don't give up. You just keep on, just keep going. So I guess that brings us to the second part of our conversation, right? The whole goal of this conversation, like I said, is to accelerate action. It's not enough for us to sit down and highlight all the problems. I say that all the time. If you sit down and you make a bucket list of all the problems and you cannot come up with solutions or advice for that young woman who is just starting her life, who probably just finished a bachelor's degree and is going through the pressure of whether marriage should be the next thing or getting a master's degree is the next thing, or whether she can even advance her career, whether she can even pursue the dream job. That young woman who wants to be a realtor and somebody says it's a man's world, or she wants to be a doctor and it's like, why do you need so much education? You already have one degree. So I guess the whole point of this conversation is not for us to just highlight all of those problems, but to also profile the solutions, to come up with ideas, to come up with words of empowerment, words of advice. How do you accelerate action? And this is not just for the women now, but the men themselves. Verena already highlighted some of it. Sometimes having that support, even if it's spousal support, it makes all the difference. Dr. Sumaya also mentioned something like that. And I think Dr. Ellen too. It makes all the difference, just having that. But some people don't even have it. That's the truth. Some people don't have it. Some people have to figure it out on their own. Some people do have a spouse, but their spouse is also a weapon fashioned against them, right? Some people have spouses that are literally another devil in their life, so to say. So it's not the same thing for everybody. So I guess the next question, which will be like the final question for all of you before we just have like a conclusion, is what advice would you give to that young woman who is figuring out her life? What advice would you give yourself 10 years ago, 15 years ago? And how would you even kind of charge the society as a whole to come in to make sure that women know that they can and they should? So that's really like the second phase of our conversation. And we'll just go again. We'll go from Dr. Ellen and then we go in that circle. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, everyone in the chat. We are seeing the chat. We are excited you are here. You are listening to this story. We are hoping that you are going to amplify our voices. That is the whole point of what we are doing. We could have, if this conversation was supposed to be between the 6 of us or the 7 of us, we would have done a Zoom call among each other, right? But we are doing it in a live event because we don't even know who can join in and who is listening in and who can move the needle forward. So if you've not shared the event, please help us share the event. Please just repost. Hopefully somebody else can come in to listen to the second half of the conversation. So having said that, I'm going to pass it to you, Dr. Ellen Sherris. Dr. Sherris, you have the mic. Thank you very much. Dr. Ellen, you're muted. We cannot hear you. She's talking. Dr. Ellen, you're muted. Can she hear us? I'm trying to unmute her myself. It's not working. Let me... Dr. Ellen, are you hearing us? You're muted. We cannot hear you. She's going on and on. Can somebody tell her in the chat that we cannot hear her? Okay, I've seen the button. I'm going to unmute her now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. And everything you said was lost. Literally everything.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry about it.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Just
all right. So thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Amaka. I really like this question because I think that's the reason why we're here. That what are we going to tell the younger generation, or what would we have told ourselves, or what did we tell ourselves 10, 15 years ago that brought us to this particular point? I think if you have any dream, go for it. The time will pass. And when your eye will open, yourself will hold yourself accountable. You will hold yourself accountable because you will see that step, if you don't take it, the time will come and go. You will be at even a more disadvantaged position and you will just be swarmed with regret. So if you have any dream that you want to pursue, go for it. If you're worried about anything, look for support system. Growing up, I grew up, I don't want to, sometimes when I talk about where I am coming from, my younger sisters don't like listening to it because they cannot relate. You know, I grew up where it is normal for a girl to, at the age of 14, 15, she's pregnant and off she goes. You know, I grew up where you have to wake up in the morning and help your parents with what they will sell for that day before you go off to school. I grew up where you have to read where your mother has a shade because after school you cannot go home. You have to go and continue selling. That was where I grew up. But I had the support system. I had that parent at home that will always tell me I can. I remember my aunts will always call me computer brain. When I turn back, I don't see the computer in my head. I don't understand what she says, but I just feel like she so much believes in me and I cannot weigh her down. Growing up past that, I think I got glued to Oprah Winfrey. That was also part of where I really got mentoring from. I just believe that if she can do it despite all her stories, then I should be able, then I have no excuses. You know, so if you have any dream that you want to pursue, go for it. If your parents are not in support of it or they're not giving you the adequate advice or mentoring that you need, look for mentors outside. People are always happy. People are always happy to help others to realize their dreams. So definitely, if there are anything that is running you, there is nothing that is too big for you. Whatsoever you are dreaming of, someone has dreamt of it already. I remember 10, 15 years ago when I was nurturing, 15 years ago when I really had my mind bent on becoming a doctor, reading anatomy then, and every time my lecturers come in, then in the anatomy department, they will ask, what do you want to be after anatomy? And I would keep telling them, I want to be a doctor. And they thought I was crazy. And it affected my mental health very badly because I had to get other people to be able to talk to me and give me reasons to see that you can be who you want to be. You know, the only thing we're asking you now is that don't leave this anatomy you are reading because you've not caught the medicine yet. So whatsoever you are doing now, do it while you pursue your dream. It's not bad if you give them 2 certificates at the end of it. But they said if you catch hell, don't hold it. And if you're going through hell, don't stop because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So for any girl or for anyone who is dreaming, who is hoping and who is putting the effort, just keep going. Just look for a support system. It doesn't have to come from your family directly. Talk to people. If you are on LinkedIn, you are in a very good place. If you know how to use LinkedIn, it will be to your own advantage. And I will also say, get groups to join. I'm in Scholar Up. I never knew that I'm going to find, you know, a community that will, you know, give me that support I need. I can boldly say that I can call anyone from Scholar Up today that would definitely help me out if I'm in any trouble. So you need those kind of community. You need to be somewhere. You need to have people who share the same goals, who believe in you, who can tell you, yes, you can, even when you are doubting yourself. Sumaya, yeah, they will always say, Sheshe, it's you, you'll be able to do it. And I'm crying and I'm telling them I cannot do it. They say, no, we know you, you can do it. Just do it. Thank you so much. And we can be who we want to be. To be honest, there is nothing less than that word. We can definitely be.
Thank you
So
so much. Thank you. That is a powerful session. Our big brother Remosela is saying that men need this session. So maybe we'll do a panel for men, right? That's a good
yeah,
one. We'll do a panel for men. I will bring men to come and talk in the panel. Thank you so much, Remosela. You're absolutely right. You said something that I was quickly typing in the chat because I didn't want to miss it. That's very powerful. You said if you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop. That's very powerful. That's a very powerful statement because it's all about building your mind to where you begin to see adversities as a chapter in your life. I share my story all the time, right? But I said today is not about me, but I share my story all the time. And when people ask me, oh, how were you able to go through cancer? You are all alone in the US, no family support. I was like, in my mind, I told myself, this is just a chapter. This is just going to be a chapter in my life. And I'm going to pass this chapter and I'm going to use this story to encourage other people. And just by having that internal resilience, you are able to now find support to keep you going. So you shared a lot of things and they were really heartwarming to know that as much as possible, you just have to hold on to that your dream because the time is going to pass anyway. The time is going to pass. If you want to be a doctor, you think it's going to take you 7 years to go through medical school or however long it takes you. And you feel like, oh, now I'm 35, I'm going to be too old. You get to 40 either as a doctor
exactly,
or not a doctor. God gives
exactly.
you life, So that time will still pass and it will still catch you ready or not ready. And if you've done what you want to do, that is where you overcome regret. So thank you very much for those powerful action points. I'm so happy now with LinkedIn live events where you can go back and rewatch as many times as possible. That's the beauty of the live events over the audio events. The audio events, you just do it and that's it. You don't have any record of it. You cannot go back. Like people who miss this event cannot go back and just kind of listen to this story over and over again. But with these live sessions, I know that sometimes when I'm looking for motivation, I can come and listen to all these great women and tell myself I don't have any reason to give up. So thank you so much for sharing. So Tolulope is the same question, right, for you. For you to share, what is that advice you would have given your younger self? What advice would you give to that young girl? How can society really come in to just for women to just get it? It's just like a thing that when you get it, then you've gotten it. So what are you going to say to that?
Stay confident and prepared. You see, the truth is,
We
many of us
missed
have shared our
we missed
stories.
everything. Tolu, can
Can
you
you hear
recap?
me?
We missed everything. We can hear you now. Just start
Oh,
afresh.
okay. Can you hear me now? All right. So I was saying that my first, advice to my younger self and to everyone right here, everyone joining us and that will watch later, is stay confident and be prepared. You see, I used to say something that the key to success is to be prepared before you are ready. The health evangelist mentioned something that when she started her career, she thought life was going to go this way, and then everything just started happening. And imagine if she had had some support and she had been prepared for those periods. Yeah, we can't be prepared enough. But if you believe that my dreams are valid, that's what I tell myself. I don't know about every other person. That's what I tell myself every time when I'm about to break down, when I feel like as a wife, as a mom, by the way, I'm a military wife as well. So, when
Mm.
I had to, abandon things and move on, like for real, I just tell myself my dreams are valid, but it is with confidence because it's a lot of time that I wish we cower down. There's a lot of pressure that you feel like, can I really do this? It's all talks now, right? But when it comes to the action, you just feel there are days. I mean, I've not posted on LinkedIn for a while because I've been swamped with work. We have a project that we are building. I have a lot of things to do. And I'm seeing posts. I'm like, God, why? But all and all, what do I tell myself? I say, you are confident and you are unique. Just be prepared for eventualities. If you are not a mom yet, be prepared that when you become a mom, things will happen. Prepare for it. And secondly, please know your strength. don't want to be like everybody. I can't. I mean, Dr. Amaka is a very high energetic person, and then I want to be like her. There are a lot of women that are going through that imposter syndrome, where you just want to be like somebody. Yes, you love it is good to learn from people, take what you can from them, but find that strength that belongs to you. For me, I know that speaking, training, and convincing people is like an area of strength for me. So when I said I was going to do real estate, it's not just hoping against hope. I'm not Abraham and Sarah. Sorry for those that are not Christians. I mean, it was for me to, I knew that there's something that I have at least. Please don't be that farmer. You see, there are a lot of us that were like a farmer that is praying for rain. And you have this land, you have not tilled it, you have not plowed it, neither have you sowed seeds. But you are praying, God, God, please send rain, oh, send rain. Oh. Eventually, when rain falls, there are no fruits. And you wonder, why? I thought I prayed. I thought I did this. You did not do the work. So let's balance it. Know the strength and work towards it. And please, ladies, you can shut down buildings. There's a particular quote that I used to post on my IG 8 years ago when I started real estate, and everybody was saying you can't last 1 year. I wrote there and I said, for every door that was shut against me, I will buy the building. It might be audacious, but I'm on my way there. 8 years in the industry as a wife, a mom. I've had series of things happen to me, the good, the bad, the ugly, but I'm still here. You guys can hear from my stories. Imagine if I just kept quiet, if I didn't look and knock on doors. Don't wait for doors to come to you. Knock.
Yeah.
Dr. Amaka will say, take opportunity, celebrate every wins. People need to know. Bring your bragging rights up. Like, don't we have this African mentality, especially in this part of the world, that women are not meant to brag. They're not meant to say things. If you say somebody will jinx it, you know, just go ahead and celebrate. Or thank God and celebrate, you know, their wins, and you be that person. And I believe that we can do so much more if we take these things into account. Thank you so much, Dr. Amaka and everyone.
Thank you so much, Tolu. That was a lot of nuggets. And most times, once I hear one nugget, you see me, I'm trying to type because I want to remember it. You say, for every door that was shut against me, I will buy the building. Ah, that one is that hype, no be here, oh, that's serious. Oh. So be careful the doors you shut against me, because I'll just come back and I'll buy the entire building and you won't even have access. But that's true. Thank you so much for sharing so passionately. And to all the people in the chat, yeah, you're okay. Yeah, she's re-emphasizing what you said. That was something I wanted to point out. Know your strength. That was exactly what I wanted to say. That was a very important point. There is so much pressure to be like other people. That's true. Tolu said something very important. And then somebody else is saying, thank you for being a beautiful woman. So I let you take your flowers, right? Michelle is saying, thank you for being a beautiful human soul. Thank you so much, Michelle. We appreciate you for being here and for giving us those kind words. We appreciate it. So going back to what I was saying, it's oh yeah, my Bironka is saying the same thing. Know your strength. Oh, please know your strength as much as possible. And it's very true. It's when we operate from our place of strength, we are more likely to shine forth and do great things. When you discover your place of strength and you begin to kind of hone your skills. People see me all the time. I'm learning communication skills. I'm taking courses on leadership. I was like, have you not learned this thing enough? I'm like, this is my strength. I need to be able to know how to do it well enough that it stands out. That there will be no doubt in your mind that when I show up, you know that I'm showing up with that value. There will be no doubt in your mind. I recognize that this is where my strength is. And Tolu mentioned this. She knows how to talk. She knows how to convince people. So in navigating your life's journey, that level of self-awareness, I think it was Dr. Sumaya that mentioned it before, to talk about being self-aware, knowing where your areas of strength is and then doubling down on it. I really wanted to re-emphasize that point. Michelle is saying, you love you guys. We love you right back. Thank you for sending all of those love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you. Sending love right back to Michelle. Dr. Sumeya, I'm going to pass it to you. I'm just going by the way we are on the screen. So please, the same, just from your own perspective too. You see, we are getting different opinions, different perspective, different experiences, and you are still muted. Let me unmute
I
you.
have unmuted. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you're
Okay,
good.
yeah. So just I
You're
have been
good.
taking
Yes.
notes from these amazing women. But just to add, I think the first point I would say is stop waiting for the perfect time. It does not exist. So a perfection is just an illusion. There is no perfect time, and I like to look at it as creating balance. And what does balance mean? It just means that you're moving to the next target. So your balance today would be different tomorrow, and it depends on the season of your life. So if you look at it, if you have to wait for that right moment, when will that right moment be? Is it that when your kids are older? Is it when your schedule is lighter? Is it when your confidence is 100%? Most people here would not be here today if they waited for all those things. So the best time to start was yesterday, and the next best time is today. So you should start, even if you're unsure, start, even if it's messy, just start anyway. Then secondly, I think own your transitions. So I know transitions are very hard. I have experienced a lot of drastic transitions, and I can understand how it's very hard, especially for us as women. It's okay to evolve. When you evolve, in if you anticipated something and you're at a point where you think it's time for me to leave that thing, it is okay. So you're not betraying your past self by embracing a new path. Every skill that you learn, every experience, every challenge, it prepares you for like the next step you're going in life. So don't let people's limited understanding of your own journey make you shrink yourself. Do not conform. I think do not conform. And it's okay, I think, for women, especially this generation, Gen Z, I think all of us really, you are not supposed to be on every table. I think it's good we have that. Some tables are not for you. It's when you see tables that are not for you, it's okay, create your table. No matter how small that table is, it will grow. So it's not, you don't have to be on everything. And I think it still piggybacks to what they said earlier, like know your part, know your strengths. Then another thing is there's no excuse. We as women, we have seen we have people to look up to. People have showed us that it is possible. So if you allow yourself um to to build your mind in a way that you believe it, then it's on you. It's not on because you are not seeing the possibilities. People around you, people everywhere, people are doing it, so you can do it. But even though I acknowledge the fact that as women, we carry a lot of weight of expectations, either at home, career, societies, but we should never let that be the reason to hold back. Because if anything, it should actually be a reason to push us forward, because we don't break glass ceilings by just waiting for permission from anyone. We have to shatter those glass ceilings by showing up. We show up, we take action, and we refuse to settle. I think lastly, so I don't keep going on, we need community. Like I think everybody has mentioned that. You need to build a community of women who uplifts you. It's a different thing by being in community group, those WhatsApp groups that are not useful to you. But you have to be in a community that uplifts you. No one does it alone. Surround yourself with either mentors, peers, and friends. You have to have friends who remind you of your greatness on days you forget. And I think I'll always be grateful I have those friends. Sherry's is one of them. We call each other, we cry. Sometimes when Sherry talks about me, I'm not sure if it's me she's talking about, because I'm like, oh, really? So you have to have those people that see you more than you even see yourself, either your friends or mentors. And if you don't have them, actively look for them. But then you can't just be like looking for other people. You have to also be that person to another woman, because kindness, I think it still comes back to kindness. Whatever you sow, you reap. So if you're that person to someone, God will send you helpers. God will always send you helpers. Lastly, you don't have to choose. You can be anything. You can be a mother, an amazing mother. You can be an amazing professional. You can also strive to have that stability between your professional life. You can be ambitious. You can be traditional. You can be all of them. So thank you, Dr. Amaka, for the opportunity. And let me keep jotting down what people are writing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a lot of nuggets. Like I'm so happy this is recorded. If you know the way it makes me happy that I can go back and listen again, so I don't have to struggle to remember all the wonderful things you're saying. I can just go back jelly. I'll just go and play it, and I can just listen again to inspire myself. You said a lot of things, and the first thing that really stayed in my mind is that there is no perfect time. There's never going to be that perfect time. And it's very true when you recognize that you will never really reach that point where you feel fully prepared. You feel like, oh, I'm ready to launch this. You have an idea, you want to launch that idea. There would always be that voice in your mind that tells you, what if I fail? We have to reach a point where we begin to make peace with the fact that if you fail, you try again. You said, own your transitions. That was something again that stayed in my mind. You said the fact that I decided to go and try something out, if it doesn't work out, I should be able to pick myself back up and start something else without feeling like I have failed myself or I have failed the world. So those were really powerful words. And then the last thing you emphasize is the power of community. Truly, you don't know how enriching it is for me that even though some of you women who have come and become part of Scholar Up team, being part of my support system, I've never met any of you in person. I'm hoping that someday I will be able to, but you don't know what you are for me. The fact that I know that I can call Ellen and say, this is the problem I'm having, this is what I'm thinking, can we talk about it? And I have that audience. The fact that I can say, oh, let's sit down, let's have a strategy meeting, let's talk. Augusta is all the way in France, and if I don't talk to Augusta in a day, it looks like something is missing. It looks like I have to check in, are you still alive, kind of thing. The fact that we can form that kind of support system and be there for each other, truly, it makes all the difference. And the last point you made that I'm trying to reiterate is that you need people in your life that will remind you of your greatness. I caught that one. I know books more. Even though I was not writing, I was really listening to you. You need people in your life on the days you feel like I'm a failure, because all of us, no matter how great we are, we have those days when you suddenly begin to doubt everything. Yeah. I've had those days myself. When I begin to look at Scholar Up and ask myself, is this even worth my stress? Ellen will tell you now. I begin to ask myself, is this even worth it? Do I even want to be doing this? And then you talk to people again that will tell you, oh no, this is beautiful. Do you know? And then suddenly you are re-energized and you find the strength to keep going. So thank you so much for sharing that. Augusta is there in the chat hyping us up. She's going to come in at the conclusion, but we can only have 6 people in the studio. But Augusta is always my home girl, but she wrote something in the chat. I'm trying to see what she wrote. She said, let's go of the regrets. Sometimes we are stuck replaying our past mistakes, imagining how we could have turned out differently. But the truth is, we have no idea what the outcome would have been. And that's very true. That's very true. You can decide to, oh, okay, she wrote something else. Yeah, I'm trying to get Augusta's input. She said, for me, it begins with identifying your purpose. What sets your soul on fire? Very important. What change do you want to see in the world? When you anchor yourself on purpose, every step feels meaningful. Dr. Augusta, I could not have said it better. I could not have ever said it better in my life. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that contribution. And then we have Prudence saying, challenge stereotypes and scream loud about you. Okay, hopefully that's you. Scream loud about you. And Temitope is here. Wow, I've really missed you, Temitope. It's been a while. It's good to see you on LinkedIn. Let me see what Temitope said. It's refreshing to listen to these powerful experiences. They are motivating. Thank you, Scholar, for putting this together. All my respect to the speaker on here. It's been beautiful learning from you. I celebrate you, Verena. Oh, okay. You're celebrating the health evangelist. You didn't celebrate the rest of us. But no problem. We'll take the celebration for her. But Temitope, it's so beautiful seeing you here. I've really missed seeing you around on LinkedIn Street. I know you're working on your stuff, Sha, but it's good that you're able to join in. Yeah, and then we have Chinonye. Chinonye says, stay confident and be prepared. Yeah, good. You see, okay, my Biranka is also excited to see Temitope. That is good. We are all excited to have you. And then we have Esther, communities that uplift you truly. Truly communities make all the difference. Once you learn how to network intentionally, the life's burden becomes more bearable. Once you stop doing life alone, once you reach that part where you realize that I can't do it all by myself, I need to find people of like minds. I need to find my own tribe. I need to find the people I can be vulnerable with, the people I don't have to be forming strong for. I can truly go to them and say, Mama, I'm not feeling okay. I'm not all right. And then I'll clean my eyes and come on LinkedIn again and form strong woman. All of us, we need those people in our life that we can just open up and say, I need help. I need support, you know. Oh, Michelle says she has to go. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. You've been, you've just been a part of I didn't even know I had you in my network, right? But you've been so supportive of this event, and I'll be happy to connect afterwards. Thank you for being here. Thank you for cheering us on, and just participating in the conversation. And then my Bironke says her own WhatsApp group is useful now. Are you not in Scholar of WhatsApp group? Our own group is useful. Of course, she knows that there are all of these kind of WhatsApp group that people have plenty groups that they will just go and join and it's dead. You're not gaining anything from it. Nothing is happening. Of course, our own is alive. Our own is alive and functioning. And then Ikechukwu is my adopted younger brother, in case you don't know him. He does very beautiful video editing work, and I've adopted him as my younger brother because that is actually the name of my actual younger brother, is Ikechukwu. Ikechukwu says, chase your dreams unapologetically. Generations are looking up to your fire. Thank you, Ikechukwu. We will keep doing that. Thank you very much. And my Bironka is also giving us back to back. She said, this is a value-packed event. Thank you to the organizers and beautiful speakers. And lastly, I'm going to highlight her before we move forward. Nan Yonjo. Sorry if I'm murdering the name. Could you tell me where your name is from? It's such a beautiful name. I don't know what country that is. Keep around people that inspire you to do better. Yes, that makes all the difference. Thank you very much for keeping the chat, for interacting. I always say it that events like this are networking events too. These are opportunities to meet new people, connect with new people. Because if you are all here and you are listening for 1 hour, listening for 2 hours, it means that you have something in common already. That's what it means. It means that these are your kind of people. These are active LinkedIn users. These are the people that believe what you believe. These are the people that want to follow the course that you are following. So it's a good time to connect. That's why I take the time to pause, highlight all of you in the chat, just for you to know that I see you and we appreciate you for keeping the conversation engaging. This is it's not just a conversation between the 6 of us, but for all of us. Thank you very, very much. Temitope, I see you. No wahala. Of course, I know you celebrate us, but you are celebrating Verena especially, so I was feeling jealous. But no wahala, no problem, no problem, no problem. Now I'm going to pass it on now to Verena, just for you to also give us your own experiences, right? From your 2 decades in nursing and all your moving around and all of those, what advice would you have given Verena that started nursing 20 years ago? And then which advice would you give to the young girl that is still at that point where she's figuring out her life and she feels like it's overwhelming and it's impossible? Evangelize.
Thank you. The truth is that most of you have already said the things I want to say. But I'm going to say that I didn't want to be a nurse from the very beginning. I wanted to be a lawyer. But I did not have a mentor to actually tell me what I was good at. So I believe that in my time, I don't know about the generation of today, in my time, we had very little career coaches to tell you, okay, this is what you're good at, these are your strengths, and these are your weaknesses. And I'm very happy today that I found a community, even at my age. I have a mentor who can tell me what is right, what I can do, and what I cannot do. But I'm happy that even though I wanted to advocate for people as a lawyer, today I'm advocating for patients as a nurse. So it still comes down to the same fact that I am advocating for people. I like justice. I like to see people have a fair treatment. I like to see people, being treated right. So somehow, somewhere, I'm advocating for people. So I also want to tell the young girl of me back then, do not chase too many things, because I did not have that foundation. I started chasing too many things. Today I'm here, tomorrow I'm there. And I remember somebody told me that a rolling stone gathers no moss. You have to take it slow, go one step at a time. Look at your strength. What can you do? What can you not do? But I'm happy that it's been 20 years. I've been a nurse, doing what I like to do. I shared a story that I started LinkedIn as a Scrum Master, but I saw that that was not me. I like to talk. I like to talk to people. I like to teach people. And that has been my passion. And I stick to it. So follow your passion. Above all, have a mentor who can take you to. It doesn't matter the time. It doesn't matter how young. I will say that even to my 40-year-old self in the coming months. Do not give up on your dreams. You can be anything at any time. You know, you don't have to say, "Oh, I want to live in regret," or "My time has passed." I applied to get into medical school. I was taken in Germany, but for one reason or the other, I did not go. So do not give up on your dreams. Do it. Even at 40, just like you said, if you don't do it, the time will still catch up on you and you will go down to your grave regretting that you had the capacity to do more and you did not do it. So me, I will be a nurse. I will grow. I'm moving into another level. I don't want to disclose that now, but I'm very happy that I've been able to achieve these things without giving up at this time in my life. So thank you very much, Dr. Amaka. I'm going to conclude that find yourself a mentor. Do not give up on your dreams and keep dreaming at any age you can make it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Verena. Those are very powerful. Those are really, really very powerful words that you have shared. And I think you said something. You know, I'm always listening for the nuggets that stand out for me, and I think I caught a couple of them. You said a rolling stone gathers no moth, right? Because it's just rolling, and that's true. And I think that is a challenge that quite a number of people face now because they lack direction. That lack of direction will make you chase 100 things, and you spread yourself in 100 directions. And before you know, you are not achieving anything because there's no compound effect. Success is all about compounding. It's just in the small things that you repeatedly do. You repeatedly do it, you repeatedly do it. That is how you compound it. So, but sometimes not just having that person in your life that you can talk to, that is there, that believes in you, that can guide you. You know, you said in our part of the world, career coaching, how many of us got the opportunity to sit with somebody to say, okay, let's talk about it. Let's figure out what do you like to do. It's only when we become older that we now begin to try to go back to those things that we love to do. Somehow we begin to find a way for it, to go back to it. Even though we may have gathered degrees in areas that are not necessarily that thing. For me, for example, you know, you shared something and you just touched my heart. I said, I always wanted to advocate for people too. It is body now, Abby. It is something that is very, it's very natural for me. Community building, being there for people, raising people up, coaching, it is something that I had done all my life. How far would I have gone if I had somebody that had guided me early enough to say, why don't you go to school and even chase this thing that you like to do? Why don't you go and get your degrees in doing these things that you actually enjoy doing? Instead of going around circles and then struggling to find a way to begin to bridge the gap between my agriculture and people at the end of the day. So I guess one of what I'm trying to emphasize from what you said is to the young woman out there, stop the risks of saying I'm going to do it all by myself. I think I wrote a post about it very recently. I said, if you really want to succeed, stop trying to figure everything out by yourself. Don't reinvent the wheel. All the things you want to achieve, there are so many people who have already achieved it. There are people who have walked that path. There are people you can intentionally find that would guide you so that you can jump those loopholes. You can really jump. In fact, you can accelerate your life. Sometimes some of us, when we look back, what we'll see is that we have lost years. And some of those lost years is because of the proper guidance. And you look at several years and you're wondering, oh, how I wish I knew better, but there's no point to regret. And then the final thing I want to emphasize from what you said is that need that it's never late. You are 40 years, start at 40, start at 45, start at 50. As long as you are alive and you are happy, I think it's my Biranke that always says it. She will say, oh, wow. And I'm hoping she will come to one of our events recently to tell us all about it. She said she's very impressed with what she can do now at her age because she feels like she has always been an introvert, right? So and then you realize that you can become anything at any age as long as you find the right people to push you forward, and then you discover some aspects of yourself that you wish you probably discovered earlier. So thank you so much, Verena, for all the work that you do, for your consistency and your resilience, you know, despite challenges, life challenges, work challenges, family challenges, you don't let it stop you. You write letters to everybody, right? Please write a letter to Trump. Write a letter to Donald Trump. Yeah? Maybe that's something we'll talk about later. Write a letter to him and ask him what's happening. Hopefully he will give you some answer. That's by the way, anyway. But Zubeda, you are the last person here with us, just for you to also give your own insights on the advice you would have given your younger self on how to navigate their life journey. You've been through so much, going from being a lawyer to trying to push a cause that is not popular, right? And then even looking for help from outside Uganda and all of those things that you shared initially. Please share with us. Thank you very much.
Am I being heard? Okay. What I would say to my younger self is basically, you are the chosen one to lead that movement. We as women always want to be chosen. We are told to sit pretty, be nice, be humble, and then wait. If you do this well enough, you will be chosen, and that will be the end of the story. But don't wait to be appointed to these big positions, to be chosen by a man. To pick yourself and lead the way. And that is going to change everything about your life. Number 2, I would say perfect your communication skills. Initially, when I was struggling to get my ideas across, I, for some reason, could not imagine myself being on video and having these conversations. But what I really needed was a little push. And actually, what happened was, these days I'm hosting events, and someone called me yesterday and said, "Oh, you're so hardworking." And I said, "Okay, where did that come from? From LinkedIn?" And she said, "No, I see you hosting all these events." And I said, "Oh, okay." And that only came because I perfected my communication. And right now, I at least can go. I'm ready to pitch. And that is what my younger self would have benefited from. Then the other thing I have done recently is reach out to strangers. Usually we think the people who are going to help us push our causes are those around us. And yet, unfortunately, the people who are around us usually down our causes. When I reached out to this gentleman, the gentleman I was talking about, the people who are out of the country, I just saw his banner that said Islamic ADR and Islamic human rights. And I just wrote a message and said, "I would like to learn from you," because he had been participating in international things. And from that, he was like so forthcoming. "Let's set up a meeting, get your team together. I can actually get you some contacts." And where we are today came from that one small act of courage. So be ready to reach out to strangers, because you never know. The beauty about reaching out is that at least if it doesn't work out, I did my best. But if you don't reach out at all, then you will never know what would have come out of it. Then the other thing is that change does not ask for permission. Be ready to lead the change and start with small actions. Take the actions. Write about it if your strength is writing. Speak about it if your strength is speaking. And you never know who will pick up your cause. The last one would be ready to step forward, always. And of course, along your journey, you're going to come across adversity. Those are going to come. They are inevitable, but what do? Do you fall back? Do you give up? No. You have it in you to move past these adversities, and you will be successful at the end of the journey. And I think my last point would really be, and I would like to bring this forward, because I kind of like faced bullying on the LinkedIn platform at some point. And in a way, having a community is what helped me. So I was facing bullying from a person that Dr. Amaka actually. So one of those days I had faced it and I was like, anyway, this is the internet. I don't really care. Then one of those days, Dr. Amaka writes about someone who was actually bullying other people. And when I reached out, it was basically the same person. And because we combined efforts, it was it really, really helped other people who were actually suffering the same, because I was not the only victim. But usually when you take something lying down and you just let it sleep, that same person is going to repeat the same action, because in a way you are actually enabling them to continue doing what they are doing. So stand up and address many of these adversities. You can do more and you can be more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zubeda. You really made a lot of points, and I think the first thing you said is we should reach a point as women that we don't wait to be chosen. You can sit down and then choose, chart your own path. Just stand up and recognize that adversities is going to be a part of your journey. It's a part of life. That's really the thing. No matter who you are, no matter how you feel, people are well positioned. When people begin to open up and share their story, that is when you truly know what they're going through. Sometimes you see us, we all come out and we package ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with it. You need to always put your best foot forward as a human being. You don't have to carry your problems in your forehead so that the whole world will say, oh, you, this happened to you. But then having that support system, you made mention of the case of someone who was really bullying people and getting away with it. Really, because nobody was going to speak about it, right? Everybody feels like, oh, this person is such an important person on LinkedIn. Oh, I cannot even afford to say something about it. And just for me taking that courage to say, I'm going to write about this, you are warned, don't do this again. Zubeda has had the opportunity to find her own voice, to even reach out to say, oh, something happened to me, and then we realize it's the same person. So what do we learn from this story? Is that sometimes silence is acceptance. There is a very popular Hausa quote. I think Dr. Sumeya will tell us, right? When they will say, like when you keep quiet, it's just as if you've agreed. Really. And that's what it means. Keeping silence in the face of bullying sometimes is even betrayal for the people who you're advocating for. When you just keep quiet, you see something going wrong because it has not affected you personally. You feel like, oh, I'm not affected, my daughters are not affected, my family is not affected, let them sort it out. It's just even like betrayal. So as women, even as young women, you need to begin to find your own thing. And then you made a point of finding the courage to reach out to strangers. And the only way you would even find that courage is in perfecting not necessarily perfecting it, improve your communication skills. We never get perfect, but we just become a work in progress. That you go from the person who cannot be on video to the person who makes video to the person who becomes a guest speaker in an event to a person who hosts an event. It's just that progression, that consistency in knowing that the value you bring is being able to communicate the value you bring is as important as that value that you have. Because if nobody knows what you can do, you can just be doing it in your kitchen, right? It will just be like the normal nursery rhyme where they say, daddies are in the parlor watching film, mommies are in the kitchen cooking rice. It's just an age-long stereotype that has been reinforced that women have to be in the corner. Women, at some point, our president told us that too in Nigeria, right? What was the thing our president told us about women should be in the kitchen?
Amaka. Can you hear me? You can hear me? No, I can't hear you. No. Okay, so I think if you can hear me, we can just wrap up. Yeah, you can just wrap up here. So thank you, everyone. I think it's been a great conversation. Thank you, everyone, for the lots of comments. So we're very grateful for having you. I think I had a great International Women's Day today.
Can you hear me?
Okay, so I think I'm echoing here. Yeah, so
You can hear
thank
me?
you, Dr.
No, I can't hear
Amaka
you.
has
No.
issues with her network, but thank you for having been here, spent the time with us. So let's just keep being great women. We can be anything. If you haven't taken anything, just know that you can be anything. And yeah, we need supportive communities, we need strengths. And then if you're not married, please look for a supportive spouse. You need a great husband for you to thrive. And so for the men too, please keep supporting the women in your lives. We can't be anything without you guys. Even though I take that back, we can't be something without you guys, but we need you as compliments. So thank you very much. And I think we can call it a day. And sorry for the network hitches that we had along the way. So bye. So, Dr. Mark, I don't know how you put off this, but bye from me. Yeah, so.
Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm wondering if my network is back and better or not. Can you hear me though? I'm wondering if you can hear me. Maureen, you can hear me? Wait, Eremosele, you can now hear me. Is it me you are talking to or is somebody else? Please let me know if you can hear me. Oh, wow. Ooh. You see, this is testing, it's testing my resilience. Oh, finally. Okay, who do I still have here? Who was supposed to talk? Zubeda is still here. Zubeda, you were the one speaking before we wrapped it up or something. And then Augusta was supposed to come back. Okay, it's good for us to finish up our conversation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see that. Yeah, I know what happened. I had to switch out my network, my home Wi-Fi. Just we can rewrap it again, right? Yes, I'm back. I see all the love. Thank you. You know now, you know me, I'm very resilient. Zubeda, are you still there? Please, if you are still here, people should come and keep me company so that we can finish our conversation. We're already wrapping up anyway. We're already really wrapping up, but it's good to finish the conversation without feeling like we were rushed out or we were thrown out and all of those. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Maureen. I see that. Thank you very much. And Augusta, where are you? Please come and give us your conclusion. You know you weren't here since. Yes, please come and give us your last word. Any of the ladies, yes. Thank you very much. Yes, I see it on the chat. Yeah, you said Dr. Smeya has wrapped it up. Yeah, we will rewrap now. Dr. Costa was supposed to come. Thank you. She did. I was hearing her actually. Funny enough, I was hearing her and I was hearing everybody telling me that they could not hear me. But then I couldn't hear. I was speaking and then nobody was hearing me. All right. So just to tie together the conversation we had today, right? We had 6 amazing women who came on board. I'm hoping Dr. Augusta is still able to join in briefly, just for a few minutes of conclusion. Let me see. Eremosala, you can help me check on her just to see if she's coming. Augusta. Yeah. Ikechukwu said we are resilient for waiting. Yeah, you are indeed resilient too. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And this is some of the challenges that we face, right? Technology sometimes it's beyond us. It does what it's going to do, and there's nothing much we can do about it other than figure it out, not give up, keep going, and not just let it get the best of us, not let it get the better of us. It's been an amazing event today. I really appreciate all of you who stayed in the chat, who stayed and gave us feedback. You know, Mosala even called me to say you should do this and do this and do that to figure it out. I'm not feeling I feel happy to have such a supportive set of people. I think Augusta is here. Oh, okay, yeah. Because the event it won't be complete now if Augusta doesn't come to give a conclusion. Hey, baby, can you hear me now? Can you hear? Augusta, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So I had to go and mute LinkedIn because I was on LinkedIn and
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Sure. All right. Yeah. So you were supposed to really be a part of this conversation, but of course we could only have 6 women, and you graciously, gave them the space. Give them the space to thrive. So it's beautiful for both of us to conclude the conversation. You are really you are the administrator. You are the one that know how to tie things together. So I'm going to just give it to you for you to. I know you must have taken a lot of notes to tie together the major highlights of this event. That would be like the major highlights, the major takeaway. For those of them who patiently waited for us to sort out all our technical issues, that's when you know the importance of community. The importance of having a great community is that when things go wrong, they don't just leave you and run away. When things are not working, you see everybody is trying to help you solve the problem. Everybody is giving you suggestions. They are sending messages, and you feel not so alone. You feel like, yeah, it's life. It's all what I think. This even becomes the major highlight of our conversation. Adversities is part of life. Unpredictability. All of these things are going to happen, whether you like it or not. But how you respond is what matters. Do you have enough grace and enough class to respond with a calm face without going into panic mode? It's easy to go into panic mode. Imagine, you just begin to panic and then you don't think clearly. Because I just thought and I was wondering what could be the problem. And I realized that, oh, my home Wi-Fi is actually what seized. So I had to kind of use my phone hotspot for my laptop. And voila, I'm back here. So it's important for us to really develop those skills that even when things do go wrong, you kind of calm down and think through it, and hopefully you solve the problem. So, Dr. Augusta, thank you for joining me right back. And all the beautiful women, if you want to come back and say bye, you're welcome, but we'll be out of here in a few minutes. But I wanted you to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming back. Yes.
This is some serious assignments you're giving me to wrap up a whole 2 hours impactful, powerful, inspirational conversation. It's been I've just been enjoying myself backstage, clapping, sending hearts. So I'll just say to wrap up, what they've all said is I think who said it, you are the chosen one. Like that's really what encapsulates everything. You are the chosen one. Don't wait for someone to choose you. I think what other people say is if there's no table, I say what you bring to the table, create your own table, make your table, because it's all on you to decide what you want to be. And someone else also said own your transition and keep at it for a long time before you give up and say, oh, it's not working. So if you, like me, I was a doctor, I knew that my strength wasn't really in being medicine. I care a lot about people. I like to support and help people, but that was not the way I wanted to help people. So I had to transition. I had to change career path somewhat. So you're really in charge of your story. You're the one who is the main character of your story. It's you who decides what you want to do, right? And I would say another important part for me personally is support from your husband, your family, your friend like Amaka, your work colleagues, whoever it is you have in your life. Lean into that support. For me, I've been very lucky to have people who support me throughout. You all know my big brother said, like, if I'm not talking to Amaka, I'm talking to Sele. Like, I have a very supportive family, so that's why initially I didn't really see, I've been kind of sheltered from seeing like gender bias. I'm the only girl in my family, but I never felt like I was at a disadvantage because of my gender. So lean into that support, ask for help, if there's something you want to do or you cannot do it, ask for help, get a mentor. I think, am I summarizing well, Amaka? I'm just like trying to distill everything that has gone on in this conversation. But most of all, I would just say stay tuned to us. Stay tuned to Scholar Hub Academy. We bring this kind of events every other week. We have another one coming next week. So if you really enjoyed this conversation, you don't want to, but you need to follow those women first of all. Follow Scholar Up, and when you see our event, just turn on notification bell, put it on your calendar because you don't want to miss. Because this is just like the tip of the iceberg. There's more to come, and I can always say expect more, expect the best.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Dr. Augusta. That was beautiful summary. Beautiful. It's a lot to unpack, right? I saw somebody in the chat asking if you can have access to this recording. Totally. I mentioned it earlier. That's the beauty of the live stream. You can go and watch it on YouTube over and over as many times as you like. You can even screen record it and make it your own, or download it and make it your own personal motivation that you can use. Truly, it's now I see that value in being able to kind of have a recording that you can go back to, right? Other than just churn out all these nuggets and anybody who missed it cannot be here. So Ikechukwu is saying having a community is necessary life structure, and that's true. It's really true. Just having people, just knowing that you are not doing things on your own. You're not just doing it on your own. It makes all that difference. And that is something that we must intentionally begin to lean into. Patricia is telling you are doing well on the topic. She's saying you're doing well on the topic. And it's very, very true. That as much as possible, if I'm going to put everything that we talked about today in one word or in one sentence or in a few sentences, it will just be telling us to believe that you are possible. Your dreams are valid. Right? Don't wait to be chosen. Don't wait to be given permission. Just permit yourself to take up space and show up as your own person. Do the things that you need to do. Don't let the society or the community or other human beings define the path you should choose for yourself. And just to again emphasize what Augusta said, if you are not connected to us at Scholar Hub, if you've not been a part of our LinkedIn Elevation program, can I tell you that all the lovely women you saw on the panel today, they are actually alumni members. All these great women have passed through our program. Some of them still currently in the program, all part of the Scholar Hub board. So that is how we are able to make all of these powerful connections. It's because we create that platform where you can connect with great minds. You have the opportunity to network with people and have more clarity in your own life's journey, because we never have the opportunity to figure it out by ourselves. Most of the people you've seen in the chat, they have all been, alumni members, still part of the community. Eromosele, Coach David, I see you. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm just seeing your comments. Said, awesome stories here, and community is king. Okay, what about queen? I'll say community is queen. Are you biased, sir? Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm just making fun. So we were already really, really wrapping it up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Thank you for your nice words and for your input. I'm going to wrap it up by just sharing our video. I don't know if I have it on this. I probably do, because I switched my devices, right? So I'll see if it's still here for me to just use it as a way to close the event. I don't know if it's here. Okay, presentations. Let's see if it's here. It's not in this computer. Okay, I won't be able to do that because it's not in this computer. But what I can share with you though, as a way to still wrap up the event, is video. Let's see. Is it here? Oh, it is.
Success
nice.
begins with the right guidance and opportunities. And at Scholar Up Mentoring Academy, we are here to help you unlock your full potential. Whether you're preparing for graduate school applications or building a standout professional presence on LinkedIn, we provide the tools and support you need to thrive. Our programs are designed to help you craft a compelling personal brand, position yourself for global opportunities, and achieve your dreams. Led by Dr. Amaka Ifaduba, a dedicated mentor and coach, Scholar Up empowers you with personalized mentoring, actionable resources, and proven strategies to take bold steps toward a brighter future. Scholar Up Mentoring Academy is more than a program. It's a community dedicated to helping you succeed. Take the first step today and discover how we can guide you on your journey to greatness. Follow our page for updates and access all our resources at linktree.com/scholarupacademy. Your success story starts here.
Okay, thank you so much for being here up to the end. And I think Ikechukwu is saying something. What did you say? Say amazing personalities, full scholar of. That is our Nigerian English. It's a good place. It's not brags now. It's not mouths. When you know the caliber of people that we work with, then you definitely know that that's a community you want to be proud of. And Maureen says she's a proud alumni, and we are proud to have you. We are so proud. We are so proud to have you. Thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of our event. And this event has just shown us that adversities will show up. We just don't let it stop us. The first adversity for me was in having to switch out my laptop. I didn't have my laptop charger, so I had to figure out a way to switch it up. And then the technical issues. These things are going to happen. How you respond matters. We have to just train ourselves to respond to challenges with grace instead of responding with panic. Thank you so much. Thank you, Augusta. I'm so happy you came back to keep me company. Whenever you are close to me, I feel not alone. I feel like I can do anything, I can be the best. All right. Thank you, everyone. Au revoir. Tell us bye in French now. Tell us in French.
Suis très fier de toi, Amaka. Au revoir. I'm so proud of you, my friend.
Thank you.
Oh, Lord.